Okay, so we're now on step 8, and step 8 we need our gearbox assembly, which we made up earlier. We need our pinion gear, which is SC230 bag B, and it's part A. You need a couple of these M3 by 8mm countersunk screws. We need 2 of those. We also need this little guy here, a little grub screw, which is your M3 by 3mm grub screw. Now, what I'm going to do here is these little guys have a habit of disappearing on you, so I'm just going to quickly pop this into here and catch some threads while I can. That way I know it's here. Right, now what you can do as well, you can change your pinion gear and your spur gear, because Kyosho give you a spare parts bag, and in that spare parts bag is the optional pinion and the optional spur. So that's the 28 tooth pinion and the 41 tooth spur. So you can change that if you wish, but let's leave it standard for now. We're going to see how this runs. And you also need a motor, of course. Now, you can get the Kyosho Le Mans 490 motor, which it says here, which is part number 37021. It's a brushed motor, 30 turn, but in the UK these are hard to get hold of, and if you do, they are terribly expensive. So I'm just going to go with a standard 540 for now, standard silver can. I'm just going to see how it performs, and go from there. So this exploded diagram shows you how about putting all this in. So we need to open up the casing of the where the spur gear and pinion go. You've got a little rubber O-ring that goes over the edge here, so keep those safe. We need to take the cap off now, so that reveals the insides as per this drawing. Okay, so we need to put the motor in first of all. So we need to remove the spur gear and the assembly. We've got like little bearings in there. Okay, so be careful with those. So we need to remove that. So we need to take our motor, and we need to align our motor up so we've got our motor in place with these countersunk screw holes. So just line your motor up like that. Take your M3 by 8mm countersunk screws and pop those inside there. Okay, I'm not going to do that one up too tight at the moment, just going to pop that in so it's in place. Okay, there we are, like that. Nip that up, so it's nipped up. Okay, now that we have that in place, what we can do is we can put our assembly back again. So put your spur gear back into place. Make sure it engages with this friction slipper clutch gear assembly. Take your pinion gear, and we need to align the flat of the pinion onto the flat of the motor. So let's get that in alignment. Okay, so which it is, and then we need to slide that down, and we also need to align according to the drawing with your spur gear. So you need to get this lined up nicely. So you push that on and you're lined up quite nicely there. Look, I think a touch more, there we go, lined up nicely there. And then tighten your grub screw so it's nice and tight. There we go. Check your alignment still. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We're really our center of that, so that's very good. I've already popped a little bit of grease on here where the slipper clutch assembly is, just a little bit, just enough, and that sort of moves around, and by moving this around I can see the motor and everything all moves around as well. So let's put that back in together. So let's pop the cap back over because we're finished in there now. We'll then pop the little O-ring back over the top. like that. And we take the split pin and we line the split pin up and pop that back together like that. And there you go. Step 8, nice and easy. That's completed. Okay, so we now move on to step 9, and step 9, we need to open bag C. So carefully open bag C into your tray, like I've done here. And now we've got our bag C open, we need some of these capped screws. These are the 2.6 by 12 millimeter capped screws. We need 4 of those. And if you need to check them, you can check them from the front of your manual. So you can go back here and you can collect the drawing and check them here that way if you wish. Or if you're like me, I just kind of put the ruler up and go, okay, yeah, they're 12mm long, so that's correct ones. We also need from the plastic bag, from the Spruce SC221B, we need part 4, which is this guy, and we need 2 from the same spruce, the SC221B part 2s. We need 2 of those because we need to put the cage around on here. And this is a simple case on this one. Is take your SC 221 part 4, take your part 4 with these facing downwards, and we're going to collect these screw holes. Put the screw in so you can see, got that one and that one, okay, like that. So I'm just going to move this because I am right-handed, so you have to excuse me if I move this around. So we're going to technically collect that like there, and we need to screw those through there, make some threads, one there, and the same again on this side. Actually, I will use my driver to pop some threads in. So we need to collect some threads. There we go, that's a bit better. There we are. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to tighten that down. And now that we've got that part in, we need to take these parts, and again, right way around, we need to slot these parts up and through the bottom of the cage, like that, and like that. And collect these here. There we go, and that's step 9 completed. And what we're going to do is just line these up a little bit once we get them right, but they're about straight. Okay, so that's the cage.